to another episode of Living in the Past. Today I'm at a site which is a school site. The last video I did was of a small Sawmill Township, and for a long time I believed that they had a school around the boundaries of that town, and there was definitely a school, just wasn't sure where it was. Well, I've come across maps that actually tell me it's in this area here. Now this is about 400 metres from the township, which the township's down in this direction. So up the road a little bit, and as you can see, it is now plantation pine. It was about 1971 they planted all this out with pine. So not much chance of seeing any school building remnants. However, I have been in here a couple of times, and I just over in this direction over in here, I think it's actually just down along in here somewhere, I found some buttons, bits of old broken glass, and a concertina reed. So there was definitely some action up in here. But that was all I found, and if I went a little bit further this way or back down this way, there was nothing. I wasn't getting any iron signals for nails or anything like that, so it sort of confused me a little bit. So I'm going to do a fairly wide search in here today. The fact that it's all been planted means soil's been moved out. These trees here have I think it was about 26 years they grow for before they get harvested, which means they would have had at least one harvesting, and I reckon these ones are probably the second planting. So probably only a couple of years to go before they tear these ones out as well. So the ground's been turned over, just with the logging efforts. So I'm going to do another search with the new AT up through here again, but I'm going to really concentrate right up through here, and then I'm going to start heading this way down towards the township, because foot traffic would have been coming and going down there. But the amount of people that use this school, it had a crow's ash timber floor, which apparently was a really good dancing surface. So they used it for dances, and indeed the farewell for the school when it closed down. It was built in 1883. I think it was 1890 or 1891 that it was closed down. But the farewell dinner and dance that they had for the school and the school teacher had over 150 people attend. So hopefully they drop some stuff, and not just the couple of buttons that I've already found. So anyway, we'll get going, and hopefully be back with the first find. Well, first bit of real evidence. I've been digging for a fair while, probably an hour or so. While swinging, not much digging. Anyway, came down on the sort of the downside of this hill a bit, just to have a look, in case forestry workers sort of pushed the soil back this way while they were clearing, so, which is probably something I'd do, being an expert I am. Anyway, so yeah, I've just come across this target here. Now, it's nothing too fantastic, but it is an old nut, and it's still got the steel from either the bolt or the rod or whatever it was screwed to in there, so it's obviously broken off. So that's reasonably consistent with what I was finding in the main town, so I'm hopeful that came from the building some way, or it could be just off the machinery from the forestry workers back in the 70s, but either way, it's given me a little bit of hope, so I'll keep going. Not far from that nut, starting to get a few more promising signs anyway. This one was very low signal, very low tone, which was unusual for what it is. It's a shotgun cartridge, but it's not the 12 gauge like I've normally been finding. It's a bit smaller. But, I think it's more, maybe a bit later, I'm not sure, but definitely sort of the paper style So it's yeah, I can't really make any marks out of it, so anyway. But that's a good sign, so I'll keep going, see what else I can find. Well, I'm a couple of rows over now, and I've just come across this little item, and it took me a while to work out what it was. It was definitely iron, so I dug it anyway to find out. But I've just realised it's a tiny little hammerhead, like a child's toy hammerhead, so it's too small to be used on anything else. So that's really cool. It's definitely showing that I'm probably getting towards the right place. But yeah, I think that's not bad. A little claw hammer, that's the claw and the head. So that's yeah, that's good. Oh well, see if we can find any other toys. Well, the next old relic for the day is part of an old horseshoe. A bit smaller than the ones that I found in the town. This bit of a pony, so it's not obviously one of the workhorses. But yeah, so that's another clue to the area, I guess. I haven't found anything decent yet. Nice buckle or a button, something like that would be fantastic. So anyway, keep on trying and see what we can come up with. Sticking the target here. It was a very faint, faint signal, and right down in the 20s. And because I haven't had any other targets in this pretty dense sort of grass here, I thought I'll just dig it anyway, see what it is, like as I've been doing. And sure enough, as I'm clearing the soil out, at the signal is getting stronger and stronger, and conductivity is getting right up into the 60s. And I finally managed to get it in my hand here. I think it's a button. So can't move it around. You can see it just in there. So I'm going to give it a clean, and we'll get a better look at it. Well, sure enough, it is a little button, a little 2-hole button. It's a little bit corroded, or needs a bit of a clean, so it does look like it's got some sort of marking on it, but I'm not going to be able to see that until I get home. So I'll get it home, give it a clean, hopefully put some stills up. But that's good. I'm back close to where I found buttons the first time I came in here, so the fact that I missed this one is well, probably not surprising considering the low signal I was getting. But just goes to show, sometimes you got to dig those low tone targets because you just never know. Anyway, hopefully I'll be back with another find. Well, the next find was a bit of a curious item, bit of a surface find. It appears to be a wildlife tag, sort that you normally see around like pigeons. So, oops, lost it already. So obviously it's dropped off a bird. The bird got eaten by a cat or a fox or something. So I might endeavour to trace that, and someone might be looking for a prized racing pigeon, or it could be just something else. But anyway, I'll back with hopefully the next relic. Well, after a distinct lack of targets, I've decided to just continue right down to basically what would have been the edge of the reserve for the school. It's very close to the main town site, so I thought I'd come down and just see. There's a good chance that the town site actually spread out a bit further than what it looks like on the map. So I thought, either way, between that and hopefully picking up wherever the foot traffic would have been going from the township to the school, I decided to come down this corner of the forestry, and I've just picked up a more complete horseshoe. So it's a good sign. I haven't been down in this area yet, so I'm going to continue up and down on this theory for a while and see how I go. I haven't had a lot of luck in that area, apart from the horseshoe, a couple of little bits of metal, but nothing too substantial. So I'm almost ready to call it quits, but because I really can't help myself, I'm going to go back into the main township there, just on the other side, the gap that you can see there. I'm going to go in there for the last probably a couple of hours and have a bit of a scout around, and hopefully we'll get something from there. And depending on where I end up, I might be able to show some of the relics that still exist in there. Anyway, I'll hopefully be back shortly. Well, the first identifiable target in here, excuse me, in this area is a heel plate. These were used right up into, I believe, about 50s as well. But yeah, it's a steel plate. You see the nails there. That was to nail it into the heel of the shoe. So I never seem to find heel plates. I've never found a toe plate. And I have found a couple of these in here, so it's a fairly old item. So anyway, keep travelling. Just goes to show you, in a place like this, you never really hunt it out. Yeah, I don't know. I can't believe how many finds you miss and what you come across. But anyway, this next target was a 65, around constant 65. So it would have to be something reasonably nice, and it turns out to be, it looks like a extremely good condition suspender buckle. So you can still see on the back it's very shiny. It's also got patent written on it. This camera on the iPod doesn't really focus very well. So that's, I'm wrapped with that. That's probably the find of the day so far. So that's really good. So this is an area that I haven't really hunted. I've sort of snuck through here a couple of times, but very quickly. So I don't believe anyone else has come in here yet either. The main area is just through those trees, just in here, where I found a lot of good stuff in there. And the finds seem to sort of stop as you come back towards where I am now. So it looks like they've just picked up again. So I'm definitely going to skirt a bit more around here and see what else we can find. Well, the next target's a brass button. Amazingly, that was getting very scratchy signal. It was sort of high 40s and low 50s, and it just seemed like there was a bit of iron around it, and I thought I'd just dig it anyway, purely because I've got this button out of here. That suspender buckle I got is right about here. So I was just rechecking after I filled it in, as I always do, and yeah, sure enough, right beside it is a lovely little brass button. So cool. This place is still giving me some entertainment, so it's great. I think it's about time I had a live dig. Come across this signal here. Pretty well similar to that last button I just got. So I'm expecting it may be something very similar. So I'm not far, I'm only a couple of steps away from another button, so I'll just a bit of a scraping here. Because of the proportional audio, it certainly didn't sound like it was very deep. One in the pile. Somewhere just in here. Certainly just moving it around a bit. Bit of a root there. Scratch through. Seems like I've moved it. Right in under this root. There we go. As suspected. Another little brass button. so can't really see any marks on these ones, and they feel a bit lighter than some of the better quality ones that do have back marks and whatnot. So anyway, that's good. Keep going. Well, I appear to be in a bit of a button spill, if there is such a thing. That's where I just got that last button right there. I've just got another one right here, and a bit hard to see through this one, but it is marked as marked superior and has a bit of a design on it. So I'll try and get stills up of all these once I get home and clean them up. But seems like a good little area here. I'm literally only in an area of probably 3 meters square so far, so that's pretty cool. So I'll keep going. Well, the next target of the day is a buckle. I believe these were probably more to do with saddles and maybe the bullock teams, because they're a low quality iron buckle, so not nice quality brass ones that you'd expect. So I found a couple of these in all different sizes in this area, so there's just another example of one. So on we go. We'll roll with the buttons today. Yet another one, little 4-hole button. So plenty of these around, as you'd expect, I guess. So on to the next one. Well, it certainly is button day today. Bringing up sort of mid 60s, nearly high 70s, is high 60s into low 70s. Tiny little button. So I'm definitely getting used to the AT Pro. I've found a couple of little brassy items amongst the iron stuff, which just gives funny signals that I normally wouldn't dig. However, with the AT Pro, it's enough for you to say, oh, there could be something there, so you do. And this is sort of the result. So a few more finds. I've been through here a few times now, and I'm still finding stuff, and someone else has been through here. I don't know if you can see it, just through the trees over in sort of that direction. There's some more ribbons up in the trees, so people are marking their territory. Anyway, keep on going to the next one. Well, yes, you guessed it, there's another, about a 72. Bit low there, but anyway, come up with about a 72 was sure enough another button. So I'm really surprised I've missed all these, and I'm even more surprised that the person who's been in here since has also missed them. So never stop hunting, you just never know. Anyway, that's pretty cool. So that's only literally, I've gone from there to here to find the next button, so I'll keep searching around in here. I know originally when I came in here I thought this might have been a bit of a house site, purely because just on the base of that tree there is rocks, bricks. Someone's put those bricks there, but they were all scattered through here, so last time I came through anyway. So yeah, keep going, see what else we can find. Next target with about a 55, 56 is a small harmonica reed. It's a bit unusual. It's not unusual to find a harmonica reed, but in this area I've only ever found accordion reeds, which usually have a angled shape. So if they're that wide at this end, they'll come up and they'll be a little bit higher at this end. And they have a few distinct little styles depending on what sort of accordion it is, but that's actually the first harmonica reed I've found, and it's only a small one, little baby one. So it's not a bad little find. I am still surprised I'm finding these things in an area I've been over a couple of times, but anyway, keep on going. Well, I bet you can't guess what the next target is. That's right, another brass button. So amazing. I do like getting buttons. They're sort of up there with coins for me, but usually when they're stamped, because I like to try and track down the makers. These ones that I've found so far, I think there's only really one that's been marked, so I'll clean these ones up anyway and just have a better look. So continue on. Well, what would today be without more buttons? Yep, you guessed it, another one. This button was in this hole. The last button was in this hole. So that's how close the targets are. See if there's any more around here. I'm hoping with all these buttons that someone's pocket fell apart and they lost some coins, but it doesn't seem to be the case at the moment. Anyway, on we go. Well, I think someone's shirt certainly bit the dust here. Yet another button. That one before, and right under my foot here is the one previously. The amazing thing was with this button is I thought I walked in from this direction. I walked in here. I said, how did I miss that on the way in? So I turned around and faced the direction I came in. I couldn't get a signal, nothing at all. 180 degrees around the target, and I was getting solid 58 to 62. So depending on how they lay is how they present to the coil as to what signal you're going to get, obviously. So you just never know. You walk one way, you don't get a target. You walk back the other way, and sure enough, there it is. So anyway, I'll keep on going. Next find, some clock parts, clock cogs. So must have been the whole clock here. This is the first time I've found more than just one cog in the hole. So I've got 3 of them here, 2 still joined together. So they rang up nicely. They were right up in the 81, so certainly had to dig that one. And if I didn't know any better, I would have said it was a ring pull, because I was seeing the hole between the 2 of them. So anyway, they weren't too far from the surface really. They were only maybe an inch or so underground. So anyway, continue on. I just want to show you what I was talking about earlier on with this with the targets disappearing. Right now I've just cleared this leaf litter away so we can see it a bit better. See there, sort of a bit jumpy but fairly high target. Now if I turn this way, getting right down into sort of the iron range, and earlier it just completely disappeared. So I'm going to dig this one. It could be just a large lump of iron, but I'll dig it anyway, and I'll be back shortly and show you what I found. Well, there you go. Just goes to show, right here, a tiny little breast pocket button, and this one will have writing on it. I can sort of half see it. I'm running out of a bit of water here, so I'm not going to clean too much out in the field. I'll wait till I get home, but I'll definitely put a still up of that. But yeah, just goes to show you, if you walk one way, you may miss a target thinking it's iron. So I'm glad the AT Pro gives me a lot more information than the old Euro race. So that's why I'm tending to find these targets now, I believe. So I came across this 71-72 target. Of course I had to dig it, and I found a couple of these so far on this site, and that's a hinge, brass hinge off a wooden ruler. So this one's actually not too bad. A couple of them that I have got, you can still see the markings on them, measurements. So that one's not too bad. It's in pretty good nick. Well, definitely back at the car now, so that is truly the end of the day. As you can see, the sun's going down. So that's the end of another episode. I'll definitely be back now. I really had given up on this place, but seeing as though all the buttons I found today, and sure enough there's got to be more stuff that I've missed, and there's more stuff that other people have missed. So from time to time I'll come back. It's always interesting to see how much the bush reclaims past progress, I guess. So as you can see, it's pretty dense in there. So yeah, definitely the find of the day for me would be the suspender buckle. So I'll give that a good clean up. and that'll be it. So until the next episode, keep on swinging.